We are going. We are live. Let's get to the channel. Let's get it posted. Where else do I want to put this? In here. Yeah, we are on. Let's make sure the audio is working. Turn that off. Yep, audio is working. All right, let's get this in here. Put that here. And post. And I think we are good. We are good to go. That's up. That's up. And I think I just have to copy and paste this. Yep. All right. I think we are good, so I can turn camera on and move this over here and move the mic down a little, and we're good to go. All right. I'll give it a couple of minutes here as we move on to year number 6, I think. Year number 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep, year number 6 with the Texas Rangers. In our Draft to Glory playthrough. Yeah, that's about it. We're going to get started here in just a second. Last year, we finished over 500. We'll take a quick look back at that team here in a minute. I'm starting early tonight. It has been a long, long day. I was up at 5 o'clock this morning. I had 2 early morning hockey games that I needed to broadcast. So it was a couple of games, one at 8, one at 11. So it's been a long day. I'm tired. So I wanted to stream, wanted to get this in, and wanted to get moving. So yeah, so last year was our first season over 500. We finished 82-80. You can see our records. We took over in 2022, 62-100, then stepped back to 56-106. I thought we were making real progress here in 2024, up to 74 wins, but then we fell back off in 2025. This past year, 2026. The offense finally started to come around a little bit. A couple of our young guys we sort of forced into the lineup. Elijah Green, we called him up midway through the season, and scouting is off, and I'll show you here. We'll get back to the team in a second, but my scout retired. Where is he? Right there. Mike Dalton retired. So we have no scout, so that's going to be something we're going to have to do here in a minute. So don't pay attention to their ratings. But we called up Elijah Green, forced him in because of injury. We called up Joey Spence, who was the number 1 overall pick back in 2024 due to injury, and they both performed pretty well. Spence put up a 105 OPS plus and almost 3 WAR as a 23-year-old rookie catcher. Elijah Green hit 25 home runs, played fantastic defense in center field for us. So some of our young offensive players are starting to come around a little bit, and the pitching is led by Josh Eknes, the former 29th round draft pick, 838th overall. He was our second to last pick in 2022. By the start of 2023, he was a top 10 prospect, and this past season, his first full season in the majors, 17-5 with a 2.98 ERA, 230 strikeouts in 175 innings. He led the league in wins, strikeouts, whip, K per 9, WAR. The Cy Young could be his. We will see. So, pitching isn't a problem. We have some. If you look at our pitching potential, we are in pretty good shape with our pitching staff. Josh Eknes, of course, and then we've got a handful. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 3.5 star potential relievers. We've got Wilson Castillo, who's a 3.5 potential starter. Christian Little, Jack Leiter, who just had his best season at 12-13. So pitching isn't a problem. It's our offense. So hopefully those young players can continue to come along. We're going to be leading on Green, D'Onofrio, and Spence because we don't have much else. We signed we picked Kobe Bulware in the Rule 5 last year, and he really struggled, and he's really, really bad defensively. So we may have a decision to make at second base, and I was thinking, where is he? I was thinking that answer might be Maximo Acosta. Hey, Breeze, how are you? How was your weekend? I know it's the first thing I always ask you. How was your weekend? What'd you do? Acosta will likely be part of our infield next year. We'll get a new scout in, and we'll see exactly what he looks like. And we're going to have a lot of decisions to make come the Rule 5. We only have one spot on our 40-man, and you can see we have an absolute ton of players that are Rule 5 eligible. Evan Carter, Alex Gal, and again, I want to make sure I get a new scout in before I make any decisions, but Chase Shores, he was our second-round pick in 2022. I want to make sure I get him on the 40-man. We just got a lot of players that we're going to have to figure out what to do with here, so that may be something we do as we approach the Rule 5. My weekend was okay. What did I do yesterday? Oh, I finished my garage. My office where I'm doing this is above my garage, and we have a 2.5 car garage that we can only fit one car in currently, and that's obviously my wife's car. So I have to park on the street, which isn't bad during the spring and summer, but once you get into the winter months, it gets pretty brutal. So we're trying to get the garage in a position where both cars can be parked in there, and we finished that yesterday. And then this morning, I started to stream a little early because I was up at 5 a.m. to call a couple of hockey games this morning. So I don't know if you can hear it in my voice, but I did about 4 hours of play-by-play this morning. And now I'm doing a live stream. So a lot of talking today. So that's kind of where we are. Really all we have to do right now is arbitration and sign a new scout. And I saw there is a scout who is absolutely perfect for us. So we will give him whatever he wants. And that is Jesse Levis. I believe he was a former player, right? Yeah, with the Indians. Backup catcher, if I remember correctly. We will sign him. Am I in commissioner mode? Yeah, I am. I don't know why. So we're going to sign Jesse Levis. We're going to give him a 5-year contract. Give him every penny that he wants. He's legendary across the board, and he favors tools, which is what we are looking for. Now, the hockey game didn't start until 8, but it was an hour away from my house, and I have to be there an hour early so that I can get everything set up. So I had to be out of the house by 6 to be there by 7, so I was up at 5. Which is fine. I mean, I wouldn't say I'm a morning person, but once I'm up and moving, I'm fine. It's that first 5 minutes after my alarm goes up that I question my life decisions. But once I'm up and out, I'm fine. So, all right. So we have we got a lot of decisions to make. Okay. So Kiner Falefa I didn't even realize his contract was up. We have to give this man everything he wants. And that's a nothing contract. I bet we can sign. Not for $1 million. Not for $1 million. 10, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There we go. All right. So get Kiner Falefa signed to a 3-year, $30 million contract. Again, I'm not looking at his stats because I'm waiting for the scout to come in, but just his ratings. There's absolutely no reason for us not to bring him back. Joe Adell performed. I mean, as a backup, Adell was fine, so I got no problem paying him, $1 million or whatever. Get him back in the fold for a year. DeMarcus Evans, I believe we were going to walk away from. Yeah, we were, because we have so many young players. So we're going to try to trade him. And remember, we can only trade him for cash. So find a team that's interested and then see if we can sell him. That is the plan. All right, the Cubs, the Angels, the A's, and the Pirates. The Pirates have any money? Sure. Will you give me 1 1/4 for him? It won't take much. Is this going to be one of those where you're not actually going to sell him to me? Yes, it is. Yeah, like a buck. Yeah. Okay, so DeMarcus Evans, we will we will withdraw the offer. Haver Bueno, what do we want to do with him? Again, it's hard without the scout ratings, but I believe we have more than enough pitchers on the way up that we could probably sell someone like Bueno at age 31. I mean, he had 2 good years prior to this year. This year wasn't particularly good. So I think maybe we re-sign him and then see what our scout says. And then if we have to trade him at that point, we can. I'm probably okay with that. Let's sign him. And then Huff, I definitely want to trade because we've got like 4 catchers in the system that are as good as him. But again, I don't know that we're going to be able to. Does anybody? I mean, maybe because he's a catcher, he'll have more value. I don't really know. It's coffee, by the way. All right, so there are a lot of teams that want him, which tells me, let's just look at the White Sox. White Sox have money. Will you give me 2.5? Can't quite accept. What about 1.5? Really? No. Okay, so all right, so we should be able to sell him for something, it appears. Question is how much? Sam Huff. That doesn't work. Oh, come on. Where is that magic number? All right, 250K. A lot of these ranks, man, they start early. They start really, really early. Because they have to pay for, like, the teams have to pay for the rink time. So sometimes they start super, super early. It's not completely unheard of. So yeah, it's something. It's something. All right, so now we got all these minor league free agents. Are we interested in bringing any of them back? Kyle Cody, no. Ryan Doro, no. Yanni Hernandez, no. Jake Latz, no. Oh, maybe Jake Latz. Can never have too much depth. Yeah, so they don't actually play at 5, but it's still early enough, man. Let me tell you, it's still early enough. You get there and you're just polishing off that first coffee, and yeah, it's once I get started, I'm fine. Once I get talking and the broadcast starts, and then I'm completely fine. But driving out there and stuff can be. Driving out there is a little bit tough when you're that tired. I don't think we're going to bring any of these players back. They're all really bad, which is fine because that frees up a bunch of space for most of them. And these are a lot of players that were on the team when we took over. So this should free up some space for a lot of our young players. So that's fine. So we're going to sign Bueno. We'll see what his ratings actually look like. We'll see if anybody's interested in buying him at that point, and we will go from there. So we don't have anything to do now until the Rule 5. And then we're going to have a bunch of we should look at and I signed a bunch of coaches because I forget every single year to what just happened here? Why did it load up? That's really weird. Is that a new it must be a new ad of some sort. That was strange. I signed a whole bunch of coaches because that's boring for you guys to watch, so I didn't do any of that. Padres beat the Twins in the World Series. All right, so we got Jesse Levis, so we'll give him a couple of days to scout everybody, and we'll see what he thinks of our players. Come on. Kiner Falefa, with no bump from Kiner Falefa, huh? Haver Bueno and Joe Adell all signed. I thought we would get a fan interest bump from the signing of Kiner Falefa, but I guess not. Tyler Bremer, where is he? He is our pitching coach in the DSL. I'll give you an extension. Sure. We signed Will Myers to be our AAA manager. All right, coaches continue to sign. Evening and welcome to all you lurkers and all you drop seekers. I appreciate you coming in and making me your home for drops tonight. My name is Aaron. For those of you who haven't been here before, I host a channel on YouTube called Around the World Sports. Chris over at GM Games has graciously given me this platform to post my own nonsense. And I've done it now for about 6 months. So if you want to check out, I've got some other out of the park baseball stuff on there. Whole bunch of new stuff because a lot of new games just came out. So signed Gonzalez to a contract. Yep. Whole bunch of new stuff. We've got some Draft Day Sports. That's the other series I have on GM Games is Draft Day Sports Pro Football, which will be on Wednesdays. That's with the New York Jets. I'm gonna have a Draft Day Sports Pro Basketball Let's Play starting tomorrow with the Orlando Magic. I made the decision late last night that I was gonna do a Let's Play with the Orlando Magic. That will start tomorrow. I've got an Out of the Park Baseball Let's Play that I do on Thursdays. And then I've got 2 Franchise Hockey Manager Let's Plays that I'm going to be doing on Tuesdays and Fridays with the Buffalo Sabres. So if you're into that sort of thing, go ahead and check it out. A lot of free agents that we can't sign. Bo Bichette, international. Are there any international studs that we can't sign? Makes me feel good when I don't see anybody really talented here. All right. So now what do we want to do? All right, so we have 37 spots on the Rule 5. I think we are... Who do we want to put on there? Not Nordland. He's 29. Evan Carter. I think we got to put Evan Carter in there because we need the bat more than anything. I don't want to lose a bat in the Rule 5. Aaron Zavala. I don't want to lose a bat in the Rule 5. And Chase Shores. So we're going to have to take some people off the 40-man, I think. I think it's inevitable at this point, which is fine. I mean, I'm fine with that, but we'll get there in a second. Yeah, Reed Anderson can be taken off of the 40-man. Anybody up here? How does he have Bueno rated? It is Bueno rated as a 3-star, so I'm okay trading him. See if anybody wants him. Try to get a little bit of cash. Find a team that's interested. See if we can sell him. Let's sell him to the Red Sox. Red Sox always have money. So $1.5 million. Is this going to be one of those where I can't actually sell him? Yep. Yeah, okay, so you agree to $1. Okay, so it's somewhere between $1 and 250 grand. So I just have to find that sweet spot. Who was it? Bueno. So 225. 200. That's 2 million. 175. 150. All right, so Haver Bueno traded to the Red Sox for $150,000. I mean, that's a nothing trade, but again, it gets us a little more money. It frees up a 40-man roster spot for one of our young pitchers, such as who? A couple of, I think I want Brady. I want Brady Davis and Cooper Dossett on there, I think. I'm not too terribly worried about it. I mean, the AI does a terrible job with the Rule 5, so I'm not really concerned about losing any of my really good players. Like, I mean, it's entirely possible that we could lose 1 or 2 players just based on the number of names we have that need to go on to the 40-man. And I think we'll be okay. Gamba, no, this is a Draft to Glory Let's Play, so I can only the only players on my big league roster can only be there via draft, via the Rule 5, or scouting discoveries. So I can't trade for players, and I can't sign free agents. So if I want to move people off my 40-man without just releasing them, we sort of made the decision as a group that I would be given the okay where I could sell people, where I could trade people for cash. So, yeah, so I can only trade players for cash. I can't trade them for other players. So if I've got a player that has some value, it makes more sense to sell him for $100,000 than it does to just get rid of him. So it's money that I mean, at this point, we aren't really spending it. You can see we still have, a ton of money for, we can actually probably bump our ticket prices based on our year last year. We still have a ton of money. But yeah, we can't trade for players. So, Qualed, thanks for the subscription. Appreciate it. It's going well. How are you tonight? I'm all hockeyed out, and I'm watching hockey. I broadcasted 2 hockey games earlier this morning, so just relaxing with a little bit of out of the park baseball. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for the follow. Appreciate it. So, you subscribed. I didn't even notice that. You subscribed. Thank you, my friend. I appreciate that. I'm sure Chris appreciates that as well. Chris is the guy who runs this channel and just gives me the platform to be here. So appreciate the subscription, my man. Thank you. All right, so it's free agency. There's nothing we can do, so we are just going to sim up to the Rule 5. I have a player on the IL that needs to be activated. He can't be on the 40. What did that say? He's not on the... Okay, well then send him to AAA. I don't care. Okay, so... What is going on? Oh, so there's not a spot on the 40-man for him. Okay, I don't care. You can DFA him. He's 2 stars. I don't care. See if anybody takes him. Let's get up to the Rule 5. I want to sub myself. I haven't eaten... What did I eat? I had a couple pieces of pizza at like 2 o'clock this afternoon. And that's been it. But I'm not going to eat when I'm done with this stream. I'm probably going to go to bed. It's been a long, long day. You've been enjoying the Draft of Glory, and you've been recovering from the Ravens disaster on Thursday. Yeah, it's interesting, man. I'm a Patriots fan. I don't know if the Kevin Garnett jersey and the big Bruins banner gives it away, but I'm a Patriots fan, and I can't say that I'm disappointed seeing the Ravens lose to the Dolphins, seeing the Bills lose to the Jaguars last week. But yeah, they didn't look good. They didn't look good at all. That's a bit of a surprise. All right, so what is this? Monitoring the independent leagues, and I've never seen this before. I've been monitoring the independent leagues, and I feel I've discovered a player who may be able to add value to our organization, pitcher Juan Navarez. Not for $3 million. I've never seen this before. That's interesting. I've never seen that. That's cool. Pats beat Cleveland. Yeah, Pats beat Cleveland by a lot today. That would be putting it mildly. Yeah, the Celtics didn't play well last night, and the Bruins are currently losing to the Canadiens. They haven't played Montreal in 619 days, and they're losing 1-0 right now. So, all right. Bo Bichette signed with which Chicago? Bo Bichette signs with the White Sox. Interesting. Did I see Freddie Freeman signed with somebody else? Freddie Freeman signs with the Mets. There we go. Oh, he'd been playing for the Red Sox. He'd spent the last 5 years with the Sox. Interesting. I'm glad you've been enjoying it, Qualid. I've been enjoying. I started doing this after the Rockies playthrough because I wanted to do something different. You know what I mean? I could have just started a brand new Let's Play and started from the beginning again. But how many times can you watch people draft? Marcelo Meyer and Jack Leiter and, all the same names that are in the 2021 draft. So I wanted to try something new. And this is a different spin on that. So it's kind of the way we decided to go with it. All right, let's go back and make sure that there are no additions we want to make here or nobody that we want to run the risk of losing. Nordlund, I'm fine with. Reed Anderson, I'm fine with. Englert, I'm fine with. He won't get taken. So there's nobody on... So I can probably do this, at least enable their promotions because it looks like they've all slipped. We go to AA, Chase Shores. Cox is the only one I'm a little concerned about, but again, he's just an 8th round pick. So if somebody takes him, somebody takes him. I really should get Caden Grice on there because he's one of the few power bats we have in our minor league system. So we will designate a Ronda and we will put Grice on the 40-man. I don't know that he's ever going to hit enough, but he is one of the few power bats we have. So I don't want to run the risk of losing that. You binged that, man? That's something. You binged that was like, I don't know, it was 15 years times 4 or 5 episodes per year. That's a lot of binging. That's a lot of my nasally voice. So I appreciate that. Yeah, the two issues that I have, or the two concerns I have with this series, is that we won't be able to stay on top because we won't, if we have a weakness, we have a weakness, and we can't really improve it. So if we win, it's going to be a fluke. It's going to be one of those things where all of our pitchers go off on the same year or something like that. It's fluke may be the wrong word, but it's not going to be a consistent thing. So, and I like I said, I wanted to try something different. So here we are. So let's get into the Rule 5, and we're picking 15th. It's what an 82-80 record. 82-80 record will do for you. You're picking middle of the pack. So all right, so none of our players are taken in the first round, or at least up until our pick. We're gonna look here. Ultimately we're gonna end up drafting batters, I assume, because we have more than enough pitching. So ideally, we need second base, right? Boulware was really bad. If there's a first baseman out there better than Benelis, maybe we take a shot at him. But I have to think that Benelis will hit better than he did last year, just based off his ratings. I don't know. Boulware, we could, I would say we could stand an upgrade at second base, or first if we can find somebody better than that. But second base is really where we're going to be focusing. All right, let's get it back into the draft. Looking for somebody who has the right ratings for second base. Cooper Bowman's he's not great. That contact is really, really bad. Jackson Churio? He would have to learn second, but he could do that without any problem. And he's really, really versatile. A lot of speed. I don't think he won't ever be a great second baseman, but the range is slightly below average. Everything else is fine. That might not be a bad option. Definitely the best bat so far, the most well-rounded bat anyway. Angel Hanau's a bat who can't. We took Hanau in the Rockies playthrough, and he was pretty good for us. We actually flipped him for. Man, I don't even remember who we flipped him for at this point. There's Random Task coming in and killing my buzz right off the bat. Hey, I don't know, man. You guys, you'll have to watch the next episode. I recorded up to the end of the season in my my expansion playthrough, and it's interesting what's gone on in the last month of that season that I played offline. So I'm looking forward to getting back to that one at the end of the week. But yeah, you're right. It is interesting. It's interesting that this team, where I can't sign or trade anybody, is really doing much better than what we were getting out of my expansion team. Well, and to be fair, my expansion team made one major mistake, and it was right off the bat. It was that trade for Vlad Jr. That set the team back because I couldn't make any other moves. Austin Hendrick is a good bat. Alvin Keels, no. I haven't found any really good defensive infielders in any of these Rule 5s. Nasim Nunez is a good defensively, but can't hit. Um, yeah, not a ton here. I think there's our boy Sal Stewart. We could take him like we do in every single save we ever do. I think I'm going to take him just because, I guess for the memes at this point, I take him in every playthrough I have. So we will take him at some point. Carter Young. No, at least not that version of Carter Young. So I'm going to take that shortstop and turn him into a second baseman, I think. Jackson Chourio. Eagles won. Great. So we're going to take Jackson Chourio, and we're going to make him a second baseman. And then we are going to take, I got to take players off my 40-man. Yeah. One of these days I'll remember to do that. So Speeds can come off the 40-man because he's been awful. Sanders can come off the 40-man because he's old. And that gives us the 2 spots we need for Chourio and Stewart. Let's find Sal Stewart unless somebody took him. Nobody took him. We now have him. Good evening, Football Joe. How are you doing tonight? Iced coffee. Nothing like iced coffee when it's 35 degrees outside. Regarding meme pickups in one of your online leagues, I trade for the same guy every couple seasons with the same team. We've done it 3 times. What do you like? Trade him for just like a player to be named later or something? AFC North went 0-2-1. Yeah, wait. Yeah, they did. So who was off this week? Cincinnati? No, right? Because the Ravens played on Thursday, right? Right. Pedro Pineda. No, I don't really need any more outfielders. So I think we're good with those 2 picks. Connor McGuire. Oof. I mean, I've talked about needing power in the lineup. He's got some pop. 0-1-1 today. Who is your favorite team? I mean, if the AFC North went 0-2-1 and you're happy about that, so you're not a Browns fan, you're not a Ravens fan, you're not a Steelers fan. You're a Bengals fan. Got it. Okay. There you go. Well, you got that combination. Hopefully Burrow can stay healthy, and you guys will be. You've got that combination. Hopefully that'll last you for a while. Do we want Connor McGuire? He can't really field, but he would provide some pop off the bat. Who would he replace? And take your pick. We've got 1,000 players on our roster that don't really have a home at this point. Boulware can go to the minors. O'Neal Cruz. Maybe he replaces. Well, Cruz has got some value in that he can play all over the diamond. I don't think we're going to take him. I think we're going to stick with what we have. I think we're good with what we have. So I think that's it for the Rule 5. So we will continue. We will complete. And then we will get to the boring, well, not the boring stuff, I guess, but the simming. Michael Chavis goes number 10 in the draft to the Mariners from the White Sox. All right, well, let's just let's do some Hall of Fame voting, I guess. Jake Arrieta, Beltran is going to get another vote from me, much to the dismay of Random Task. Robinson Cano will get a vote from me. Zach Greinke will get a vote. Todd Helton absolutely deserves to get in. He's not going to, but he deserves to. King Felix. Hudson. Tim Hudson was so underrated, man. He was so good. So good. How can he not get in? Anyway, he gets sidetracked. It's a shortstop. You traded for the shortstop from Toronto. Let him go in free agency. He signed with Toronto. You traded for him. A few years later, you traded for him again, then let him go. He signed with Toronto. He was abysmal with the GM. He couldn't resist. Hopefully, you didn't give up much for him. Hopefully, you didn't take advantage of your loyalty to him. Now, you're right. Cano's a multiple-time cheater. I don't want him on my list. You cheat once, that's fine. You get caught cheating multiple times, that's different. I have a problem with that. guess. Dustin Pedroia, Albert Pujols. Who else? Sabathia, and I've only got, one more spot? Ichiro. Let's see if we can get him over the top. All right. Now let's just go. So 82 and 80 last year. Hopefully the offense continues to improve. Hopefully our pitchers don't get hurt. Let's keep going. Ichiro. What about Ichiro? Why do you have the star next to his name? Did he cheat? Do you think he cheated? All right, Hall of Fame voting results. Albert Pujols makes it with 99% of the votes on his first ballot. Greinke, 69, nice percent of his votes. Beltran, 67, Sabathia, 65, Suzuki, Ichiro, 57, Cano, 54, Mauer, Hernandez, who fell off, Vizquel, McCann, Papelbon, Roland, Martin, Kemp, Hanley, Oliver, Perez, Aramis, Kinsler, Carpenter, O'Day, Santana, Lucroy, Romo, Kennedy, Clippard, Arrieta, and Wade Davis. That's right, the Eknis Cy Young campaign incoming. You're right. I don't understand it, Random Task. The OOTP just hates Ichiro Suzuki. Just absolutely hates him. I don't get it at all. But it's got to be because of the WAR. I would assume that it's WAR and OPS plus. I mean, look at his numbers from 2011 on. They just weren't very good. But he was so damn good for this first decade, plus what he did in Japan. So I don't see how they can keep him out. But have they implemented the veteran? No, I don't think they have, but they should. You know what I mean? I suppose I could do my own veterans committee and look at stats for the players who are who has the most home runs without being in the Hall of Fame and just do it myself. But yeah, the game itself hasn't put a veterans committee in yet. So yeah, the Josh Eknis Cy Young campaign is well underway. Hopefully he can stay healthy. And actually, he didn't win anything last year, did he? He was just an all-star. Okay. All right, let's get up to preseason. Yeah, it is. I agree, because you have dopes like, Joe Morgan and Harold Reynolds and, well, not Harold Reynolds, but some of these people who are so caught up in specific types of numbers, and they don't want. What's wrong with Harold Baines? Harold was a good hitter. I think someone like Dwight Evans belongs in the Hall of Fame. If Harold Baines is in the Hall of Fame, Dwight Evans should be in the Hall of Fame, because Evans was a better player than Baines. In fact, oh, it's not going to let me do it. Oh, there we go. So Baines had a couple more double. So he played about 200 more games. He had 400 more hits, 5 more doubles, far less triples, fewer home runs, more RBIs, fewer runs, fewer walks, fewer strikeouts, fewer stolen bases. Higher average, lower on base, lower slugging, lower OPS plus, lower WOBA, lower WRC plus, and significantly lower WAR, because Evans was so much better defensively than Baines was. Evans was a Gold Glove right fielder with a cannon for an arm, and Baines wasn't. So if Harold Baines in the Hall of Fame, Dwight Evans better be in the Hall of Fame. That's my Red Sox take for the night. It's just people voting in their friends. Yeah, I mean, I don't hate on Harold Baines for getting into the Hall of Fame. Good for him. But if Baines is going to be in the Hall of Fame, then you should look at everybody who has numbers similar and go, is this person better or worse? And Dwight Evans should be in. So, money is dropping, and that's because contract numbers are starting to increase. The first difficult year is going to be Eknis. but that's still a couple years away. Oh, and we did have to sign, for those of you who weren't here right at the very beginning, we did have to sign a new scout. Our scout retired, and it actually worked out to our advantage. We signed somebody who is legendary across the board and values tools. So the perfect scout for our team. Only thing that would have been better is if he heavily favored tools. So we got ourselves just a fantastic scout here going forward. And let's get up to spring training. You don't put much stock in the Hall of Fame? No, I mean, I guess if I were a player, I might feel differently. If I were a great player, I'd want to be in the Hall of Fame. But and I get why they don't want to just let anybody in, because that waters down the accomplishment. But I feel like it's a museum, and that's part of the whole reason I feel like Pete Rose should be in, because it's a museum for baseball, and good, bad, or indifferent, if you impacted the game in some way, then you belong in the Hall of Fame. And I don't see any problem with it, just like I don't necessarily see any problem with I gotta get him in here, putting something on Barry Bonds' plaque, that says he was accused of steroids, or Mark McGwire admitted it, or Robinson Cano was suspended twice for performance enhancing drugs. I mean, just go ahead and put it on their plaque, but put them in there. I mean, it's there for a reason. So Chorio's going to start at second. Where did he go? What happened there? All right, Chorio's going to start at second. I don't think there's any other changes I want to make, so we'll just let the AI set the depth chart. Cruz de Jesus Acosta. We should get Acosta some time at second base as well. We'll back him up at second, like every fourth game, just to get him a chance there. Chorio at second. Get Acosta in there every few games. It's a Hall of Fame, most popular. Right, that's not really what fame means per se, but I think the Veterans Committee should be more, should be less biased, so put together a Veterans Committee of, maybe put together a Veterans Committee of players that aren't in the Hall of Fame, highly respected players that aren't in the Hall of Fame or something, and let them choose. I don't know. Sal Stewart. What do we want to do with Sal? We got to get him out there. He can only play third right now, right? He can only play third, so we're going to get Stewart in there backing up at first. Every second. Actually, in fact, we're going to start him against lefties. Then against righties, we'll get him out there every couple of games. And we'll kind of run with that, and hopefully everybody stays healthy. Fame and memes. Christian Little is okay. He's fragile now. That's no good. His injury last year knocked him out for a while. Famous doesn't mean popular. Absolutely not. At least I don't think that's what it means. There are some famous people that people hate. Back hurts. Yeah, we can do that. We'll get to the start of the season. We'll see if everybody's healthy, and then we'll do some wins. We'll do pitcher wins. We'll do team leading. Who's going to lead the team in home runs? We'll do some interesting stuff. I don't know how to do any of that. If you hate them, they're infamous, not famous. See, I hear infamous, and I think that they're famous for doing something bad, not just because I hate them. Like, to me, that's a difference. Like if somebody's infamous, that means to me that they're known because they did something bad, not because they did something good. I see a difference there. Steroids are bad, yes. Benedict Cumberbatch is a bad actor? I don't know. Well, I mean, I've only really ever seen him in Doctor Strange, so I haven't really watched any of his other movies. Jetsons, thank you for the follow. So a 13 and 15 spring training. Not fantastic, but whatever. Oh, Miami changed their name, too. They're the Rascals now. Season expectation, 500 ball, player development. We got a lot of development. Again, I'm not going to put a whole lot of credence in the... Wow, Chase Shores got good. Oh, he's marked as a reliever, though. I'm not going to put a lot of credence in these spring training ups and downs, but looks like we had some players get better. Brady Day, again, he's a reliever, though. That's why he got better. Joey Spence got worse. How did Chorio? Chorio's up to a 48 at second base. That's good. What about Stewart at first? He's up to a 28. Okay. And D'Onofrio got better. Cool. All right, top 100 prospects. Camarillo, who was our scouting find last year. Man, he's still a ways away, but he is so good. Can you change it back? Yeah, we can change it back. You don't like that? I don't know if it's going to change the logo back or not, and I can't be bothered to do that right now. So, all right, so we changed our team name back. All right, so we have to scale the roster back. We have 40 players on the roster. We have 19 pitchers. Well, Grice is technically a pitcher. He'll go to AAA. Enriquez will go to AAA. Dossett, Davis will both go to AAA. What are we at? 15. Shores, if he made a starter, what does he drop back to? Wow. Okay. So maybe Chase Shores is ready. We send him down for now, though, to reserve to keep that extra season. Caleb Appleby got another bump as a star. He's up to a 97. Can we also check how much Kevin Hinkle signed for the Rockies for? Yeah, I forgot about him. Let's see if he signed this year. Or if he went back to that's not how you spell Hinkle. H is it like that? There it is. He's in AAA already. Jeez. Wow, okay. He signed for $7 million. So he didn't sign in 2025 as the number 1 overall pick by the Rockies. Went to Kentucky for a year. Came back, signed with Kentucky, and he's the number 1 prospect in baseball. Wow. He's going to hit like 450 in course. It's going to be crazy. What do we have left? We have 4. We got to send 1 pitcher down. And we have some decisions to make because we have a lot of talent here. All right. So let's clear. So let's see. Let's just go by overall. I don't care. So Eknis is our ace, obviously. Just based off ratings, I feel like it's got to be Eknis, Appleby, Castillo, Leiter, and Little for now. I think that's what we do. Who's our number 2, though? Is it Appleby? Can't be our number 2. Just because his ratings are... It's because he had 97. I think Leiter's going to stay our number 2. Yeah, his movement dropped. We'll move him into the pen, I think. Make Appleby our 3. Little our 4. And Castillo our 5. I wouldn't put Appleby number 2 either. I'm going to put him in the 3 hole for now and see how he does. Actually, you know what? No, I'm going to put him in the 4 hole. I'm going to put him behind Little. Little's a little more consistent top to bottom. Hopefully Little can stay healthy. Yeah, you think so? Chili's ahead. See, I would go Fridays first. Then Chili's, then Applebee's. That's the way I would do it. Applebee's is repulsive, man. Could Robinson Ortiz be the next David Ortiz? No, he couldn't because he's not a hitter. What happens if we make him a reliever? My guess is his stuff jumps up to a 90-something, 83. Okay. All right, so our closer will be Darwinzon Hernandez. Heine will be our setup man / middle relief. He was so good last year. His ratings don't suggest it, but the 5 pitches I think help him out a bunch. Middle relief will be Slayton. I think we go Slayton and Ortiz to have the lefty-righty thing. Middle relief. Do I want to use either of these guys more often? Slayton can probably get used a little more often. Oh, yeah, it's been forever since I've been to one of those places. The only ones near me closed. There was a Fridays down the street from my house that closed, and there's a Chili's that's, I don't know, a few miles away that I haven't been to in forever. So we got Teodo, Gomez. Orselli Gomez will be long relief, emergency starter. Then we got Flores. So we'll make him a long relief / I don't know, middle relief. Or Teodo will just be long relief and avoid high leverage. And then Bradford will be specialist versus lefty / long relief. So your dad keeps sending you Chili's gift cards. Parents are crazy, man. They do shit that they think is like super helpful and super nice and everything else. And you're just like, man, I think, really, you want me to go to a Chili's? No, I'm good. All right, so there's our pitching staff. And I think that'll change in May. I think we still got Caden Campbell that I completely forgot about. So we have Campbell and Chase Shores in the minors. 2 22-year-old starting pitchers that if anybody falters, we got more depth than I know what to do with. And that, really, I'm really, it's a video game, so I'm not going to sit here and pat myself on the back, but I did a really, really good job drafting pitchers. Even if you take the luck of Eknes out of the equation, we drafted Little, we drafted Appleby, we drafted Castillo. We drafted Campbell, Shores, Davis. All of these players we drafted. So we did a really, really good job drafting pitching. Offensively, you will see. We'll see where things go this year with Joey Spence, with D'Onofrio, with Elijah Green. We got Mike Taylor, who's 1.5. Our new scout likes him a little bit more than our old scout did, which is encouraging. So we got him coming around probably in the next year or two as well. So we'll see how it goes. Applebee's you've been to more recently because your mom lives near one that's off the highway, so it's good to meet. Is it, though? Is it? Is it really good to meet family at an Applebee's? Garcia will go down to AAA. He's out of options. Okay. All right, so what do we do here? Ware is going to go to AAA. Carter, Bannister, Zavala will all go to AAA. We have so many batters that we have nothing to do with right now. Acosta will go to AAA. Retterer will go to AAA. It doesn't look like his career is going quite like he did in your playthrough. Random task. Let's see. How many do we have? We get down to 26. We got 28. So we send 2 more down. Do we even have... We don't... I guess technically O'Neal Cruz is our backup infielder. That's a problem. I don't know. DeJesus can be our backup middle infielder. His positional ratings aren't great, but his defensive ratings are fine. So DeJesus stays up. Stewart stays up. So then we got to send... Well, Garcia has to either go down or get traded. Does anybody want him? Can we sell him for cash? I have to think that a 3-star catcher who's got good fielding ability would be intriguing to some team. Anybody have any money? Yeah, it's probably worth it to yeah, it's going to be worth it to DFA him and see if we can sneak him down to the minors, I think. I'm not selling him for $100,000, so we will DFA him, hope nobody claims him. And we have to send one more player down. So, probably Ramos. He's gotten progressively worse every single year. Adele's better defensively. Yeah, it's going to be Ramos. All right, so that gets us to 26, right? It does. Okay. So let's clear and let's set the lineups. Now Corbin Carroll will lead off. Kind of Falefa is going to move down in the lineup for the first time, I think, in forever. We're going to bet Jung second. I think that those positional ratings work nicely there. Our number 3 hitter against left. This is against righties, right? Yeah. Who's our number 3 hitters? It's Spence? I think it's Spence against righties. Then D'Onofrio. And then Green. So we need first, second, and short. So Benelis will go in here, and actually we'll do this so we can keep it lefty-righty. So it's Choreo and Kiner Falefa. So Kiner Falefa will bat. Actually, Chorio's a better hitter. Yeah, he's just simply a better hitter than Kiner Falefa is. So that will be our lineup. Carroll's still pretty good. Yep. You've never had Applebee's. You aren't missing anything, Breeze. It's like fast food for, family dining. All right, so we're not playing Gomez every second game. He'll play once a week. I'm fine with that. Against lefties, I want Cruz to get some playing time. So we'll get him out there a couple times a week. Cruz. DeJesus will back up at second. Actually, DeJesus should back up at second and short, and Cruz at first and third. Yeah, I think it should be like that. So he'll play every 4th game there. He'll play every 5th game there. So he'll play a couple times a week. DeJesus will play a couple times a week. In the outfield, it's going to be Adele. Once a week there. Copy the lineup. I'll make some changes against lefties. You will ask, do I rank Red Robin? I've only had Red Robin, I think, maybe twice in my life. My oldest daughter used to really, really like Red Robin, so we used to go there when she wanted it. But I haven't been to Red Robin in, man, I don't have any idea how long. So against lefties, we're going to get Sal Stewart in there. He's going to play first. Alex DeJesus. Good bat against lefties. So he's going to play a little bit more here. He's going to play every second game. I don't want him playing every second game there. I will have him playing every 5th game there and every 6th game. So he'll play 3 games a week against lefties. My phone keeps beeping. We'll go Adele in the outfield against lefties. He'll play a little bit more. I think that's good. Benelis will sit on the bench. That's fine. Get DeJesus in there. Dell. Cool. All right. So it is opening day. Let's look at preseason predictions. How's us going? 83 and 79. Spiritually the same, but way better. I don't know. Most of those types of restaurants, I just, if I'm going to spend $60 for, my family at Fridays or something, I'm going to spend, 80 at a nicer restaurant and just sit down. Yeah, we're going to do them. So I would say the over-under then would be, and I don't have any, I took all my stuff with me to the hockey game, so I don't know, I do have a pad of paper here. All right, so we are going to do over-unders we're going to start with wins. So the over-under right now is 82 and a half. So if you're interested, we're going to do some over-unders before we get started here. So tell me how many wins you think we're going to have, and we'll see who's right. So Football Joe says we're going to go over. Give me a number, Football Joe, just in case. 89. Wow. Okay. Random task. What about you? Where do you think we're going to end up? He's really thinking about this. All right, I'm going to say this is going to be an 86 win team this year. Random task. 83. Ooh, Qualed coming in at the under with an 80. All right. So if anybody else chimes in, I'll add it in. So how many wins is Josh Eknes going to have this year? He went 17-5 a year ago. Breeze went 78. Breeze is really underestimating us. And Ganba 81-81. NSOP 84. All right, so we got a lot of different numbers, which is good. All right, how many wins for Josh Eknes? Last year he was 17-5. Random task says Eknes will win 12. I think he's going to stay healthy this year and he's going to win 17. 18 for Eknes from Qualed. Breeze, Eknes will have 14. I'll show you his ratings in case anybody else. You can see he hasn't regressed at all, which is obviously good given that he's only 25. Oh, look at Gamba going all out, going with 20, but the rest of the staff is only going to have a hard time. So Leiter's going to win 17 this year. That's a bold prediction. That is a bold prediction. All right, so we got a couple people we're waiting on. We'll let those hop in here as we go. Let's see. What else do we want to do? Who will lead the team in home runs and how many? We'll do one or two more of these before we start the sim. Who will lead the team in home runs and how many? So just in case you want to look at our batting ratings, you can see D'Onofrio, Benelis, Green, Spence, DeJesus, and that's up with 15 for Eknes. Spence with 32. All right. Qualed Spence with 25. I'm going to go with Elijah Green and 31. Spence is going to win 22 games. I don't think so, Breeze. Oh, Sprees will. He'll have 20. He'll have 22 home runs. Gotcha. All right. D'Onofrio 29. Jung and Carroll will struggle just to get hits. That's been the problem we've had. We just haven't been able to put a lot of players on base, which is why last year D'Onofrio led us with 28 home runs and only knocked in 75. So that's been our problem. Is we just here's another one. Green had 25 home runs, only drove in 63. We just haven't been able to consistently get people on base. That's been the issue. All right, and then the last one is. Who will make the All-Star team? Who will be our All-Stars this year? Breeze thinks D'Onofrio. You already picked Spence. Who's going to make the just Eknes? Breeze is just picking everybody. You can't do that. anybody else on All-Stars. Right now it's just Eknes. I think I'm going to go with Eknes and Darwinson Hernandez. Those are going to be my 2 All-Stars. Eknes and Elijah Green. And Breeze has Eknes and D'Onofrio. Here, I'll bring up the relievers and you can see them. So everyone's going with Eknes. I think that's the smart move. Here are our pitchers. NS. Random task. It's going Eknes. Castillo, but I have Castillo as a starter. So do you want to change that at all, or are you going to stick with it? Castillo and Stewart is going to make it. Wow. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. So we got 4 over-unders that we're going to run with. We will see. Did Castillo make it last year? He did, yeah. Made it last year as a reliever. But he's a starter. At least in my estimation, he's a starter. We'll see. You're going to go Heine. Heine had a great year last year. That's actually not a bad pick. And you'll go Castillo. All right. So we're good. All right. So that's 3 All-Stars for random task. The rest of us picked either 1 or 2. All right. Well, it's time. So let's get this ball rolling. Do we want to play opening day? Do we want to let the game play opening day, or do we want to just sim? We can let it play out if you guys are interested. Worst comes to worst, Heine will make the names also. Yes, he will. Heine. Just sim it. All right. Okay, here we go. Sim the month, and we win. And then we lose 4 in a row, and we lose O'Neal Cruz for 4 weeks. So there you go, 1 or 3 in a row. So that's a start. I get a bat up. Where, I guess. You need the stream to wrap up. Well, man, we got the draft ahead of us, so don't forget about that. Well, here's just an absolutely terrific start, as we are 1-5 out of the chute. There we go. We win a couple of games, and then we lose a couple of games. Oh, what the hell, man? This game, just when you think things are going well, it knows how to knock you down a peg. 10-17 in April. Not good. Take a look at the stats and see if there are any moves we need to make. Not a good start. Oof. It's a lot of minuses there as our new scout makes his way through our minor league system. Is it smoking? No, it's our offense, man. This is gonna keep us from doing anything. Eknes is 0-3 with a 4.74 ERA. Yeah, I didn't change the logo. I guess I should go and do that, huh? Can I do that? Can I change it from here? Where is it? It's here. There we go. There. I changed it back. So this year's knocking us on our butt. Leiter's been our best pitcher. Little's been terrible. Eknes has not been great. I mean, I guess he hasn't been awful, but I mean, that BABIP is super high. And that's the issue, is that there's just not a whole lot I can do, right? Not a whole lot I can do. We just sort of need to grind through it and hope that they figure it out, because we don't have. Well, Taylor's hitting in. He's gotten off to a hot start in high A, so we can call him up. We just don't have any talent in the minor leagues to come in and replace the offensive players that aren't hitting. Churio's hitting okay. D'Onofrio's hitting okay. Green's got a little bit of power. Spence has a little bit of power. Kind of Falefa he could be toast, even though I just signed him to a contract, so that's awesome. Jung is terrible. Benelis is terrible. It's just not good, guys. Not good. But it is just the first month, so we're not going to make any major changes here. We're just going to let the game go. It's month 1, and we will see if things are any different in May. Nope. Nope. O'Neal Cruz eligible to come off the DL, and we are 11-21. 11-21. So we take a step forward and take 2 steps back. Wow. Worst record in baseball? One of the worst records in baseball? We got some talent in Venezuela. Danny Gonzalez, another pretty good pitcher. I need him to find me a batter. I mean, I appreciate that he's finding me this guy, Pickles. This guy's nickname is Pickles, but start Sal Stewart. Jung has been, yes, he has. But I guess, I mean, who am I gonna, I mean, is Sal Stewart better than him? I mean, Stewart's not exactly lighting the world on fire. Last year, Jung wasn't awful. Had to put up 3 wins. I mean, he was slightly above average. This year, looks like everyone is just a whole lot of crap. 4 players who are above league average right now. Green, D'Onofrio, Spence, and Churio. 84 OPS is better than 69 OPS. Yes, it is, but this is also only in 51 at-bats. You want me to start Stewart? I'll start Stewart. All right. Stewart starts at third base for Jung. Let's make it so. And how's Benelis is at a 95, so we'll leave him out there for now. And Jung will go to the bench. It's a little disappointing considering we have him locked up for 5 more years, but what are you going to do? Got to start making some changes. Well, it looks like Breeze is going to be the closest one here. We do win some games towards the end of May, which is good. Is it time to call Chase Shores up? Yeah, he is dominating AAA. Let's look at our pitching. Who can go away? Wow, Eknes. 1-5 for Eknes. Flores. Wow. Not good. Not good. What do I do? I think the move is to move Castillo back into the bullpen. Bring up... Well, Shores is... Well, he's only hurt for 2 days. I want to get Shores up and get him into the rotation. We can move Castillo into the bullpen. And... I mean, the kind of the middle here, these guys are all doing really well. So I think we need to... Yeah, you're the closest right now. You went with 78, so you're on the right path. So I think we got to make some changes to some of these positional... Hernandez is our best pitcher. He should... I mean, in theory, he should be our closer. I guess has he gotten better or worse here? He was bad in April, and he's been bad in May. Has he blown any saves yet, or has he just been bad? Did blown save, are they even listed here anywhere? Yeah, right here. So he's blown 3 saves. It's 15 save opportunities, blown 3 saves. All right. I mean, from a strictly statistical standpoint, Flores has been the worst. So I think we're just going to send Flores down for now. Move Castillo into the bullpen. Make him a middle relief. Use more often. I think we'll take Heine out of that role and just have him as a setup man. So that gets Slayton and Castillo into more games out of the pen. We'll call Shores up. He's out for 2 days, which is fine because we're at the top of the rotation. Let's look at our lineup again. Not that there are any more changes we can make. How's Stewart doing? Well, that OPS plus is climbing. It's up to a 99. D'Onofrio's having a good year, 13 home runs. Green is slightly below average. Spence is having a good year. Carroll's having a good year. So the offense looks like it's coming around a little bit. But the pitching hasn't been good this year, which is a bit different for us. Yeah, the offense has gotten better, and the pitching staff has gotten worse. So you have to think that Eknes is going to turn it around here. His last 2 starts have been pretty good. You have to think he's going to turn it around. Leiter's been fine. Little struggled. Appleby's been good. Do I want to make a change at the back end of my bullpen? Do I want to do something with the closer? How many home runs is he on pace for? I mean, he's got 13 through May, so 40? Yeah, 38. Nobody picked him other than Ganba. Moved to stoppers instead of closers. All right, well, who do I make the stopper then? I mean, do I go with Hernandez or do I go with the hot hand? Do I go with Slayton and Robinson? Or Ortiz, I should say. Because, I mean, if we're going based off ratings, it makes sense to have Hernandez as our stopper because he's our best pitcher in terms of his ratings. But he hasn't been... You did? Did I miss that? I'm going to scroll up and find that. Oh, yeah, you did. Okay. Nice pick so far. All right. So who do we make our main stopper? Do we go with Hernandez? Do we go with a lefty-righty type thing and do like stopper and specialist kind of thing? So like make him a stopper and a specialist so that he comes in against lefties and then make like Slayton a stopper against righties, like that kind of thing? Yeah, but he also wasn't very good last year either. Well, I guess he was okay. He was all right. So maybe we do something like that. Go Hernandez and Slayton as our stoppers. We go with Castillo, using him more often as a middle relief guy, and then leave the rest of the bullpen like that. You'll be doing 3 stoppers. I think we'll go with the lefty-righty for now and see how that works. Offensively, we're just going to leave things as it is. Stewart's hitting a little bit. I mean, a little bit, but he's almost league average, so we'll just kind of leave it as is. Nothing here. Yeah, again, we already went through all this. Let's quickly look at the minor leagues. Anybody we want to move around. So we called Taylor up to Double-A. He's not really hitting yet, so that's probably the right place for him. Anybody down here that needs to go up? Cox, the ERA is a little rough, but I love that walk to strikeout ratio. We'll leave him there for a little bit. He's still struggling a bit. Zavala really doesn't belong in Double-A, but I don't have a home. Apparently, I don't have a home for him in Triple-A yet. Nobody down here, I think, is going to go up yet. Nope. Any of these shortstops doing anything? Nicholas Perez is hitting, but he's not any good. Here was our number 2 pick a couple years ago, Jesse Bullard. He's sort of flaming out. We'll call him up, give him a shot at high A. Maybe the ratings will... Kemp Alder. He's really bad. I don't have any idea why he's 2.5 stars. I noticed that when I was looking at it this morning. It's got to be because of his pitching ratings, but he's not very good. So we'll call him up, but he's pretty bad. Leshy was our 2nd-round pick a year ago. He hasn't gotten any playing time yet. Yeah, we don't really have a lot of players that need to be moved around yet. Dylan Adkins, let's disable his promotion. Yeah, not a lot there. Not a lot there. He is bad. Yeah, and he has bad ratings as both a hitter and a pitcher, and he's 2.5 stars. It's weird. Like, I would say he's slightly below average as a pitcher, but his offensive ratings are terrible. It's kind of strange. All right, so now we got to get up to July. Let's see if we can win a little bit here in July and get ourselves back to even. Feels like we're winning a few more games here and there, or a Selly on the... Sorry, I'm getting a text message about one of my broadcasts. I gotta look at this. Hold on a second, guys. Oh, it went to my other email. Sorry. I gotta look. Bear with me for just a second here, guys. Is it? No. What is he sending me? The clubs have decided to make this a pack the stands, and we are also asking spectators to bring dry goods or a cost for the Western Suburban Food Pantry. It just means we're going to have to get there early and get set up. All right, sorry about that. One of my upcoming broadcasts. Apparently, we're going to have a difficult time getting ourselves set up. At any rate, all right, we got to call a pitcher up. Looks like we're starting to win a few games here and there. So who do we want to call up to replace Oriselli? I don't want to rush Campbell. I'd rather just let him stay in AAA. So I think it's going to be Davis or Clark. Kind of like Brandon Clark. The control's a little rough, but good fastball, great curveball. Good stuff, good movement. He's been really good in AAA. Brady Davis has the great stuff, good control, elite fastball. Yeah, we're going to go with Brady. We're going to go with Brandon Clark. And let's get back to it. We'll get Clark in there as just a long relief. All right, so we're 31 and 35. 4 games out of first place, 5 games out. All right, so we are 5 game. Benelis is hurt now, so we're starting to suffer some injuries here, which is a little concerning. Do we give Grice a shot? How's he doing in AAA? He's hitting. He is hitting, but we don't really need him. I'd rather get Buer up. All right, let's get to the end of the month. So 5 games under 500. We're bouncing between wins and losses here, or 2 wins and 2 losses. All right, so we come out of June 38 and 42. So we'll look at all that stuff in a second. But 10 and 17 in April. The last 2 months we have been. Kevin Hinkle's looking like Barry Bonds. We'll take a look at him in a second. So 10 and 17 in April. We have bounced back the last 2 months. We're 3 games over 500 in our last 2 months, which is encouraging. It's encouraging. We have to. Who are we missing? We're missing our first baseman. So we get Jung back out there in first base until we get Benelis back, I suppose. Let's look at the mail, and then we won't do anything with international free agents because we can't sign anybody. Shoot, Slayton is out for 4 weeks. Oh, come on. Player development. Little's now down to 2.5 stars, so he's going the wrong direction. He's coming out of the rotation here really soon. Castillo's not pitching particularly well as in the bullpen either. Green got better. D'Onofrio got better. Yeah, it's critical that those bats get better for us. All right. And you had mentioned what's his name for Kevin Hinkle, yeah. I mean, this is no surprise. He's hitting 360 as a rookie in Colorado. If his home run power levels out at a 65 or a 70, I mean, he could be a 10-win player. I mean, look at these numbers as a rookie. And it was the right pick to make the number 1 pick for sure, but yeah, he's crazy good. Crazy good. All right, so how are we doing? So, offense is meh, as expected. We have some players that are performing okay, and we'll take a look at those in a second. Defensively, we've gotten a whole lot better than we were last year. We're third in zone rating, sixth in defensive efficiency. Our pitching staff hasn't been particularly good. Chase Shores has come up and done a nice job in 4 starts. Eknes only has 2 wins on the season. I mean, he's on pace for 4.5, almost 5 WAR, over 100 ERA plus. So you have to think that maybe he'll bounce back the second half of the season. I mean, he had 4 really good starts in a row here, just kind of got hard luck and was only able to win one of them. So I have to think that maybe he bounces back in the second half of the season. Leiter's had a great year. Who was it who said he was going to win 17 games? It was Ganba said he was going to win 17 games. He's on pace to win 16. So not far off there, Gamba. Caleb Appleby leads us in innings pitched, which is a surprise, but he's pitched really well. Maybe wasn't quite as good as he looked coming out of spring training, but he's pitched pretty well so far. Sal Stewart, 94 OPS plus. He's hanging in there. I mean, he's better than a lot of what we have, so I can't really complain. Corbin Carroll's doing a nice job this year, hitting over 300. Already has more WAR this season than he did all of last year. D'Onofrio on pace for 34 home runs. Elijah Green on pace for 30. So that's going to be a battle down the stretch here. Chorio doing a nice job with the bat. 808 OPS. And he's slightly below average defensively, but better than what we were dealing with last year. So, and we're still in it. We're only 5 games out. So it's not unreasonable to think that we can make up 5 games in 3 months if the offense can just improve a smidge. So I don't think there's nothing we need to do from a. How's Taylor doing? Yeah, he's still not hitting in Double-A. He'll probably finish the season there. There's just nothing. Yeah, see, we called Bullard up to high A, and his ratings improved. So maybe that was the bump he needed. To kind of move him forward here. Zion Bannister is not hitting. Evan Carter is hitting quite well, but I don't really think he has a future. Caden Grice is hitting a little bit. And Caden Campbell, he'll be up next year, I think. I just need to see the control improve a tiny bit. But again, I mean, our pitching staff, in theory, should be better than this. Little is struggling. He'll likely could be coming out of the rotation here at some point. We're short a pitcher. Right, because we had someone just get hurt. So I think maybe now's... Do we go with Campbell now? I think we're going to go... Yeah, screw it. We're going to go with Campbell. We're going to move him into the rotation. That gets us a lefty in the rotation. We'll make Little a middle reliever / long reliever. Get him some pitching time out of the bullpen, see if that helps him sort things out. And we'll get a lefty into the rotation in Caden Campbell. And we haven't even looked at the draft. So we're picking 15th? 16th. Picking 16th, they think we are going to take Chris Cristofaro. I mean, if he's there at 16, that wouldn't be a terrible pick. He's got 6 pitches. He's already really well developed. He would be on the Major League roster next season. So if he's there at 16, I can definitely see taking him, but I don't think he'll be there at 16. Yeah, the Yankees have the number 1 pick. What do we have for bats in this one? Wow. That could be the best catching prospect I've ever seen come out of the draft. High leader, high loyalty, high adaptability, high work ethic, 66 catcher ability, and his nickname is Dogface. So, I mean, come on. Oh, wow. A couple of really, really solid bats, and then, well, really only looks like 2. Mike Applin's another good bat in this one. A couple of decent guys. But yeah, Serrato will likely be the number 1 pick. Let's get up to the draft. so we win again. We're 4 games out. He's not happy with us. He's been satisfied. Okay, he's been satisfied. Expiring contract. Let's just re-sign everybody now so we don't forget. Because I will forget otherwise. Valencia. How's he doing this year? He's got great relationships with every single one of our pitchers. I think we just hold on to him. He's only 34. He can grow with the pitchers, presumably. Resign all of these people. Make sure we resign Osni Guillen. And top 100 prospects. We have Camarillo at number 8. And we're starting to slip here a little bit. Camarillo, Taylor, Campbell, Danny Gonzalez, and Chase Shores. It was a shallow draft, but there were a couple of really, really good players. I mean, if that pitcher falls to us at 16, I'd be foolish not to jump on him. He'll be in our rotation next year. I don't think he will, but we'll see. All right, so we're making a move here, guys. We are making a move. That's, 3 wins in a row coming out of the chute here in July. A 6-1 win. DeJesus with 3 RBIs. Shores picks up his 4th win. Then a 1-0 win. Leiter, 9-3. Chourio hits his 10th home run, and then we win 10-3 easily. 2 RBIs for Stewart, for Jung, for Adele, and Bradford picks up the win. Why did he get the start? I'm not going to complain about it, but... so who's not injured anymore? Benelis. So we have to send... who are we sending down? Boole, Ware we are sending down. We will bring Benelis back up. And I think we're going to stick with the lineup that we have because it's working right now. We will put Benelis in as the backup first baseman, but it is working. Sort of. I mean, Jung he's very, very good defensively. So we'll stick with this for now because it's working for us. Let's see if we can keep winning up to the draft. Now we lose a couple of games there, and we are back to 5 games under 500 and 8 games out of first place. Damn it. That's frustrating, man. That's for a 4-game losing streak is frustrating. That is frustrating. All right. So Agnes is 2-7 now. Yeah, middle of the pack offensively, middle of the pack pitching-wise. And that's what you get. All right, draft time. Kip Skill, thank you for the follow. It's draft time. So let's start the draft, and let's go to all players, and let's auto draft for New York. They took Sam Hippler with the number 1 overall pick. Okay. A 20-year-old extreme ground ball pitcher. That control terrifies me, but, whatever you want to do. Miami takes Mike Arnold. Okay. Number 3 pick, Kansas City. Mike Dogface Serrato goes to the Kansas City Royals with the number 3 pick. Expos fan, how are you doing tonight, my friend? We are doing okay. We're down a little bit from last season, which is a bit disappointing, but we're plugging away here. Up to the draft, the number 4 pick, and the Detroit Tigers take J.J. Uncle Howlett. Detroit picks again and takes Josh Tumbleweed Ramirez. I love these nicknames, man. San Francisco takes Joe Woods. 18-year-old with absolutely no fastball at all. Can we look at overalls when we draft too? What do you mean overalls? What do you mean by their overall? Their overall what? I mean, that's what I'm looking at here is their potential. St. Louis takes Jim Reimer. Colorado takes, how would you even say this? Kekau-like? I mean, that's obviously a Hawaiian name. I don't know why he's from Patterson, New Jersey. That's a Hawaiian name. Kekau-like Harley. Like their current star rating not their potential. Yeah, that was one of the things that intrigued me about Cristofaro is that he's already 3.5 stars. So I'm just hoping that he falls to us, and he doesn't. Oakland takes him at 10. So that was a little disappointing. So I guess we can now just sim ahead to our pick and see what is available. So it looks like that second baseman was taken. So it looks like it's a lot of pitchers. So we got Tommy Newland, a 21-year-old out of West Virginia. Doesn't want a lot of money. Looks like a pretty decent pitcher. High loyalty, adaptability, intelligence, low greed. 3 good pitches and a 4th that's below average. And he's a half star right now. Tim Trujillo. I don't think he's as good. High loyalty and work ethic. 2 really good pitches. A 3rd average pitch and a changeup that likely will never develop. I'm just baffled that people are drafting starting pitchers that aren't starting pitchers who's going to be the ace of a third of the league right now. What do you mean? That aren't starting pitchers who can be the ace. I don't understand what you're saying. It could just be that I'm tired, but I don't understand what you're saying. So Newland is the best of the remaining starting pitchers. Yeah, Mike Allen, no. Brink, no. So Newland is the best, I think the best option. Let's take a look at batters and see what options we have there. Yeah, it looks like Newland. And it's we need bats. Do we reach? I guess that's the question. Do we reach for someone like Rich Gutierrez, who clearly isn't as good as Newland, but could potentially fill a need for us in the outfield and gives us another bat? Or do we you're baffled at the one he could be the, I see what you're saying. Okay, yeah. The way I look at it is that he was 23. He'll be 24 soon. So, if you're a team that's 3 or 4 years away, do you want to take someone at 23 now and start paying him next year? That's kind of the way for a team like us, it makes perfect sense. But for, maybe the number 1 team, maybe it doesn't make sense to take a 23-year-old. So, yeah, we can reach for someone like Gutierrez because we need a bat, or do we just continue to go after the best player available? Luis Jimenez is a pretty decent bat, but he doesn't really have a position. Same thing with Lerma. Joe Petty, he's really far off, and, my hope is that someone like Petty would be there in the next round. There's some decent... What about Eric Skull? He's got a great name. Again, no real position, probably left field with those ratings, and he's already 21. Yeah, see, he's already 21, and he's just super underdeveloped for a 21-year-old. That just bothers me. Mike Ventura. He's 20 and really underdeveloped. See, I don't know. There are a couple of decent bats here. It could be like Pittsburgh and Zach Greinke, where they didn't draft him because he wouldn't sign with them. Maybe. So, what do you think? Do we reach for a need? I'm taking this guy at some point. He's impossible. I'm absolutely drafting Jeff Hensley at some point, and probably the 2nd or 3rd round. So do we reach and take somebody, or do we immediately just go after the best pitcher and then come back because we know that we're going to have the money to sign someone like Jeff Hensley? He might be impossible, but we know we're going to have the money to do it. So do we then just turn around and come back and sign and draft Hensley in the 2nd round? That sounds like a decent plan to me. So we go after Newland in the 1st round, pick up another pitcher because you can never have too much starting pitching. Offense is the problem since you can find pitchers. Right. No, you're absolutely right. But are any of these batters worth reaching for in the 1st round? Because that's what it would be, right? Any one of these hitters would be a reach in the 1st round. Petty's only 18. He's still years away. But potentially looks like he could be a really good bat. Same thing with Skull. Or do we just go heavy batters and just go screw it? We're just, we're just going to load up on offense in this draft and see what happens. Because we do have a lot of young pitchers, you're right. So do we go, I would, if I was going to take, I don't know, Cawthorn. Well, he's got everything you want. I mean, he literally can play any position. All right, so let's put a plan together here. So Hensley, I have to think with Hensley being impossible, he'll be there in the third round, right? I mean, chances are he'll be there in the third round. So maybe we do something like Petty in the first, and then come back in the second, hopefully, and take someone like Cawthorn. If Cawthorn's not available, we take Skull. If Skull's not available, then we can rethink it. But maybe we take Petty in the first round. Not Mullinax, Petty. Take Petty in the first round and just stick him in right field and let him develop in right. And then come back in the second. A lot of these bats are going to be there in a second. I don't know. See, that's the thing. I mean, I don't want to run the risk of see, I'm personally, if I was doing this offline, I would take Tommy Newland and not think twice about it and then just see what's available in the second round. That's what I would do if I was playing this offline. But I'm not doing it offline. I'm doing it here with you guys, so I want to get your feedback. So I would lean towards Newland and then formulating a plan in the second and third rounds around who's left, because there's a lot of bats here. So my fear is that all the outfielders are going to go and we're going to be left with all these garbage shortstops. That's my fear. I think Hensley will be there in the second round. He's impossible, so I can't imagine he's going to be taken in the first. I would love to come out of this with Cawthorn, Hensley, and Petty. I don't think that's possible, but that's what I would like to come out of this with. But I think my gut is telling me to take the pitcher. My gut is telling me to take Tommy Newland. He's the best pitcher in the draft, best player left. Great stamina. I think we go Tommy Newland in the first round. I think Newland is the pick, and then we just cross our fingers and see what's there in the second. So that's what we're going to do. Tommy Newland in the first. Let's keep our fingers crossed and see what batters are left. Yeah, this is what I was afraid of. It's all of the garbage shortstops. All right. Well, that means I think then that I don't want to run the risk of not getting Hensley. So I think we take Hensley in the second round. That contact, the home run power is just too much to pass up. So I think we take Hensley in the second round and we just give him what he wants. Yeah, I think that's the play here. Yep, I think that's the play. That 80 power is just too tempting. So we have plenty of money to do it. He's fragile, though, with no eye. Yeah, I know. But he's still, the contact and the power. This is like obviously you're projecting here, but if you were to build Vladimir Guerrero Sr., not Jr., the dad, if you were to build Vladimir Guerrero Sr., his stat line in Out of the Park Baseball, it feels like it would be something similar to this. Vlad swung at everything, but he still put up killer numbers. In fact, let's see. That's the wrong one. That's Junior. Yeah, see? I mean, that's a Vladimir Guerrero's batting line. Contact power, and avoid Ks. So if he can put up 80% of Vlad Guerrero, I think we pick ourselves a winner there. So we're going to take Jeff Hensley in the second round, and we will pay him whatever it is he's asking for. Whoa, what is this? Is that the AI? Okay, that's the AI. Holy crap, that scared me for a second. I was like, how did I miss that? All right, next pick. So this Jeff Russo guy is still here. Our scout kind of likes him. The AI thinks he's going to be Barry Bonds, but I don't trust the AI, especially with my scout being Jeff Chicken Hensley. Yes. All right, so I think now we go to all players. see if there's anybody here. Michael Williams isn't bad. High work ethic. But he's a terrible fielder. Not a lot of offensive talent left in the draft. Victor Lanzas. Good defensively, good speed. Tatum Marsh. 22 years old. He's meh. There was a really good reliever left, right? Famine Scheibels. And that's a name. That is a name. Ground ball pitcher. Meh. Doesn't look all that good. Yeah, your puns are something else, Breeze. They are something else. Josh Foran, an 18-year-old who's not actually a starter. England Bryan. He's not terrible. He's only 21. He's already got 3 really developed pitches. Good stuff, good movement. The control likely will come along. I kind of like England Bryan. I like his name. I want to put him there. I think he's the pick for right now. Ben Lynch. Who do we like better? Ben Lynch or England Bryan? Pitching ratings. So right now, obviously, Bryan is the better pitcher. Lynch looks like he will be better long term. Well, he only has that curveball will never develop. So I think it's England. I think we're going England Bryan with our 3rd pick. Let's go back here and here again and just make sure we didn't miss anything. I think we're going to take Lanzas. He's got speed. He's very good defensively. He's still young enough that if that contact develops, he could be a slap-hitting outfielder. But he can play all 3 outfield positions. He can also play... he can play shorts. He can play third base with those ratings. He'll make a bunch of errors, but he good range, good arm. He can play third base. Victor Lanzas. We'll take him with our 4th pick. Now it's time to start going through some of the things that we normally do. Look at some of the other ratings. Mike Mortensen, very, very good defensively. I'm probably going to take him if none of these guys, excuse me, can hit any better. I don't know. Isaac Gray. Good catcher ability. He could play short. Yeah, he could. He was going to make a bunch of errors, but, he can play a bunch of different positions. So do I like Gray more or do I like Mortensen more? Mortensen's 22, so he's further developed, which means there's going to be less opportunity for growth, but he's much, much better defensively. Gray's only 19, though. I think we're going to go with Gray. We'll go with the younger player. In fact, we may go back-to-back catchers just to make sure that we get them both. Let's look at pitch potential. 17-year-old. Billy Russo's interesting as an 18-year-old. Georgia Tech. And that changeup is a 5, so it's probably will never develop. Here you go, a 19-year-old reliever with a 100 circle change. What do you think, Random Task? I know you love players who have the circle change. I don't know if his circle change will ever actually develop into anything. 17-year-old, no. Sean Alquist, he's all right. He's all right. Ben Ford, no, that movement's really, really bad. Kevin Moore is an 18-year-old, high loyalty, high work ethic, high intelligence. Yeah, I'm okay with this. Good stamina. The ratings are meh, but he's still young. want to go back and grab that other catcher if he's still there. He is. I just want to make sure I get them both. That defense is so good that I just want to make sure he's available. Outfield range. Eddie Buffa. 22 years old. High loyalty, high work ethic. Right now he's only rated as a shortstop. He's actually an outfielder. He's more of an he's actually like a perfect third baseman with that error, that arm, and that turn DP. I like this guy. Eddie Buffa. I like him. He's got speed. Rangers draft is back in OOTP. I don't know what you're saying or what you're trying to say. Mike Williams. Let's look at infield range. Oh, with a name like Chris Hoover, I mean, come on, right? You got to take somebody. You got to take an infielder with the last name of Hoover. Ben Swan. Jared Savitz. No, I don't like his peripheral stuff. All of his, all this stuff. Bob Green. High adaptability and work ethic. Where's he going to play, though? That error really limits him to, I don't even know, like second, maybe? Kevin Bevel has no offensive ability whatsoever. Come back to Hoover. Let's look at, what do we want to look at? Let's look at batting potential again. Anybody worth taking? Jerry Gibbs looks like a reasonable player. Looks like a reasonable 2-ace from Downers Grove, Illinois. That is where I used to live. You know who else is from Downers Grove, Illinois? And here is your random trivia for the night. Two brothers that were professional wrestlers. Famous professional wrestlers are from Downers Grove, Illinois. One of them, well, if you know wrestling, you know who it is. But Leaping Lanny Poffo and Randy Macho Man Savage are both from Downers Grove, Illinois. They're brothers. It's Randy Poffo and Lanny Poffo, in case you guys were curious. But yeah, they're from Downers Grove. Went to the same high school as my wife. Let's look at some young players. That's wrong age. Let's go the wrong way. So Ken Welch, a 17-year-old with 52 power, low work ethic though. Jared Pritt, 17-year-old. He looks fine for a 17-year-old, I guess. And that error on the outfield is pretty bad. Meh. We're already at the meh stage, guys, and it's round 10. Only 20 more rounds of this to go. We'll get through probably the next 10 rounds, and I'll let the AI sim the rest, I think. That's about how tired I am right now, so we will let the AI do most of the work for us here. I think we're going to take Jake Bardick. Yeah, as a 17-year-old, his ratings, I mean, he could develop some sort of positional ratings, and as a 17-year-old, these are pretty decent hitting ratings. The Hearts are from Calgary. Yes, they are. But yes, Randy Savage and Lanny Poffo are brothers. I don't know if everybody knows who Randy Savage is. I don't know if you've heard of Lanny Poffo though. Yeah, even the pitch type is disappointing. Usually you can find at least 2 or 3 good pitchers who have got a bunch of good pitches, but not so much here. Oscar Mora, an 18-year-old. If that circle change develops, he could be decent, I guess. McLaughlin, no. I can't draft anybody named DeSantis. Sorry. Mike Townend. Yeah, we'll take Mike Townend now in the whatever round we're in. He looks halfway decent for a 17-year-old. Ken Corey is garbage. Nope. Noah Malone, is he actually a starter? Yeah, I think we take Noah Malone. No, because he's 21 and those ratings are awful. What are his... Yeah, low loyalty and work ethic. I'll pass. I will pass. Eric Bunn, no. Danny Schaffner's got 5 pitches, but he's terrible. Ugh. This is just awful, man. Just awful. And at this point, I mean, it really is a crapshoot, right? I mean, you just... When are you going to draft? I can start drafting by name whenever. Expos fan, you missed the draft here. I will show you who we drafted. Will it show up here? Will it show up here yet? It will. So we took Newland, Tommy Newland, with our first pick, 16th overall. I figured, you can never have too much young pitching, and he'll be ready presumably within a couple of years. Our second round pick was Hensley, so we will take him and give him whatever it is he's asking for. The contact and home run power was just too tempting for me. Third pick was England Bryan, a kind of low ceiling, high floor kind of pitcher who's already pretty well developed at 21. Lanzis, a fourth round pick. Kind of a slap hitter, but great speed and can literally play anywhere. Can play second or short in a pinch, but most likely can play the outfield and third base, which is a weird combination, but it'll work. Isaac Gray as our first defensive catcher in the 5th round. 6th round, we went with Kevin Moore, a very young 18-year-old, nickname of Lurch. Soft tosser, but 3 potentially good pitches, a long way away at age 18, but those are the types of players I like to draft. Mortensen, we took another defensive catcher because his catcher ability was an 89, and I couldn't pass that up. Buffa we took because, again, defensively can play almost anywhere. That infield range is a little rough, so, again, probably a third baseman, but can play every infield position if we needed him to. Great in the outfield, good speed. Jerry Gibbs, another young pitcher with some development, but he's got a high work ethic and he's a two-way style player. Jake Bartik, a 17-year-old who has some decent hitting ratings. And Townend was our most recent pick at 11, a 17-year-old with some growth. So that's where we are so far in the draft. And now we're just looking for players who have literally one skill. And if we can find somebody with one skill, we're taking them. So let's go to batting potential and let's look at speed now. Tommy Pappas, but he can't hit. Ron Purdue. Yep, we'll take Ron Purdue, a 21-year-old. Good defensively, great speed. Again, could develop a bat at some point down the road. Joel Gooker. Yep, another one I like. Good defensively, good speed. The bat is passable, I suppose. You would have gone pitcher first, too. Yeah, it was tough. There were 3 or 4 center fielders that I really was interested in. But any one of them would have been a reach. Like, none of them, I think, were good enough to be that pick. But, we needed somebody who could play who could play the field. Which is why I was willing to stretch for the number 2 pick. Sean Dahl at age 19, I think his offensive ratings are good enough for a 19-year-old, even if he'll never... What are his outfield ratings? He could play center. I mean, he could very easily play center with those ratings. You have a Jacoby Ellsbury-style arm, but good range, good error. Sure, Sean Dahl, we can make him not our pick. Please be there still. Good. We'll draft him, and I'm actually going to make him a center fielder. Bruins are losing to the Canadiens in the third period. Come on. Man, I've been on a high. This is my third hockey game of the day. I called a 3-1 victory with some under 12-year-olds as the Bruins just tie it up. So I called a 3-1 game for a bunch of under 12-year-olds. Then I called a 6-5 game for some, I think they were under 16s. That game was actually a lot of fun. Really talented. So much. You think youth hockey and you picture like kids like tripping over themselves and like unable to skate backwards and stuff. But these kids are really talented. I was impressed. All right, what do we need? Who's the highest contact bat left? Danny Sells. He can be complacent. Talon Bell will make him... Oh, wait, who's this? Jared Pritt? Sure, Jared Pritt at 17 years old. Draft by Gap. Who do we want to take? Zach Williams? He's an impossible sign. Nope. Draft by Gap Power. I've never done this before. Mason Brassfield. Looks like some outfield depth. I'm good with that. Who's the highest power bat left in the draft? Pete Mancini, an 18-year-old with 58 potential power. Low work ethic, so he'll probably never get there, but we'll take him anyway. Gentle. Is there somebody named Gentle? Like, you must really believe in it since you typed it in all caps. Where? Gen. This guy? Nicolau Gentile out of Michigan State University. And he's a good catcher. He's from Mogi das Cruzes in Brazil. Is this who you want me to take? All right, I'll take Nicolau Gentile, assuming he's still there when it's our turn to pick. Sure. All right, that's 64 gap power. Anybody with a good eye left? More catchers. All the catchers. Bobby Bergen went to Embry-Riddle Aeronautical University and has low work ethic. Or we could take another catcher. I don't know, because he can't field and he's not a leader. And sorry, distracted by the hockey game. Not really. Uziel E. Corzine out of Montana State University Billings. I gotta, right? Uziel E. Corzine. That is a name. He's terrible, but that's a name, so we're going to take him. All right, so we're going to do one more pick because we just did 20. So let's... R.J. Zemke. We just found our pick. There we go. There is the final pick of the draft for us is going to be R.J. Zemke, and we will let the AI do the rest. All right, imagine if we had to do 62 rounds in this. I'd blow my head off. All right, so All-Star game. Oh, All-Star game. All right, so we all whiffed on Eknes, I think. Jack Leiter made the All-Star team. Did anybody call out Leiter? Nope, nobody called out Leiter. Joey Spence. No one called out Spence. My phone keeps beeping. What is that? Oh. Jack D'Onofrio. Breeze is the only one who picked Jack D'Onofrio. So way to go, Breeze. So far you're the closest to winning the total number of wins on the year, and you've picked the only All-Star we had. So it was Dave Corzine was the center for the Bulls back in the 80s. So yeah, I think it's Corzine. So yes, Breeze so far got the only All-Star, and he is closest to the win total at the moment. But we did have 3 All-Stars. We had Leiter, Spence, and we had 2 offensive players. Given the amount of issues we have offensively, the fact that we have 2 offensive All-Stars is impressive. Any prospects? Mike Taylor starting to hit the ball a little bit in Double-A. Chris Corley. Okay, he's starting to come along in his third season in rookie ball, but he's starting to come along a bit. All right. So let's get up to the All-Star break, or let's get up to the trade deadline and see where we stand. John Corzine was the governor of New Jersey. I was going with Dave Corzine, who was the center for the Chicago Bulls. 43 and 47. 43 and 50. Oh, wow, there we go. There's like 6 losses in a row. Good for us. We're now 9 games out of first place. Man, this is something. This is something. I mean, what do I do? You know, I mean, it's not as if does Campbell go back down now that we have Araceli Gomez back? I think so. I don't think he's quite ready. Gomez is ready. Yeah, so it's a step forward and a step backwards for us this year, I think. And I think Gomez, we're going to put Gomez in the rotation, give him a shot. He did pretty well last year. So, yeah, I mean, step forward, step back, right? I mean, that's kind of where we are with it. We finally win a game. So we were over 500 in May and June, and then stiff back. Pitch through a stiff back. No, I'm not making a trade with you. All right, we're 12 games under 500 going into August. That is not what I anticipated was going to happen this year. I feel like we should be better than this. What's our Pythag? 51 and 53. Yeah, we're 5 games below our Pythag, which is second worst in the major leagues. Oh, the Bruins just scored again. Nice. There we go. 3-2 lead in the third. Yeah, we're second. We're 12 games under 500, and we're only being outscored by 9 runs. So that little seems to have added a pitch. Did he? I don't see anything here. Isn't this where it would show? It's his complete history. It doesn't appear he did. So yeah, I mean we're 12 games under 500. We're underperforming our Pythagorean by 5 games. We're only being outscored by 8 runs. So it feels like we're just on the edge, right? It feels like we should be able to run off, 6, 7, 8 wins in a row to get us right back in it. That's just what it feels like. I don't know if that's the reality, but that's what it feels like. We've got 5 regulars, or 6 players, 4 regulars that are putting up a plus 100 OPS plus, and then everybody else. I mean, we really don't have anybody who's been. I mean, 74 isn't particularly good. 77 isn't particularly good, but I mean, I've seen much worse. So offensively, we're hanging in there this year. Pitching, we're underperforming pitching wise. I mean, Eknes at 3-7 with an ERA over 4. I didn't see that coming. I did not see that coming at all. Yeah, Hernandez is 0-8. I don't know that. I don't know. I don't check the scouting report. Nope, you're right. You're absolutely right. Added a forkball in July. We added a forkball this past month. You are absolutely right. Do we move him back into the... I mean, he's been perfect as a reliever, so maybe it's time to move him back into the rotation. See how he does back as a starter? Because, I mean, I look at our stats, and I don't see an obvious place to make a move. Again, Hernandez and Heine haven't been great, but they're better than they were a month ago. The rest of our bullpen has, frankly, been fine. I mean, really, those numbers I have no problem with at all. And offensively, again, I mean, do we want to move anybody up or down in the lineup? Like maybe Sal Stewart in the number 2 hole is not the right place for him. Maybe Chourio? 216. He's only got a 299 OP on base percentage, though. Stewart feels like a natural in the 2 hole because of the gap power if Carroll gets on base. Or maybe we make Spence the number 2 hitter with the eye and we move some stuff around. Maybe we move everybody up one. Maybe we do something like this. Maybe we do something like that against righties. I don't like having back-to-back lefties at the top of the order, but maybe that's what we do against righties. Well, if that's the case, then D'Onofrio's our number 2. Do we go like this? Carroll, D'Onofrio, Spence, Green? Something like that? Let's try that. Let's try moving D'Onofrio up to the 2 hole. And then against lefties, I think Stewart in the 2 hole makes sense against lefties. Green, we're going to move up here. Actually, I think D'Onofrio. Yeah, we'll do the same thing. We'll make D'Onofrio the 2 hitter, Green the 4 hitter, and Stewart the 5 hitter. And we'll do that against lefties. That gives us some really solid ratings against lefties at the top of the order. How's Spence against lefties? He's passable. I think maybe we shift this around too. Do something like that. Carroll, D'Onofrio, Green, Stewart, something like that against lefties. 3, 5th best hitter, 4th. Oh, that's confusing. Why do you want your 5th best hitter batting 3rd? Explain that logic to me. Why wouldn't you have your 4th best hitter batting 3rd or your 3rd best hitter batting 3rd? Because you're protecting him in the lineup? Yeah, having better players would help too. So we're going to run with this lineup for the next, you know what, we're going to, actually, I think we're good with this. I think I want to get, Cruz needs to get a little more playing time. No, he doesn't. He's fine as a pinch hitter. Adele is hitting fine, so we can leave him out there. I don't want DeJesus. Well, DeJesus is doing fine too. So I think we're fine with this. I think we're fine with these the bench rolls as well. But we'll put Stewart, DeJesus there. Yeah, we'll run with this for the next month and see how it goes. So let's get up to roster expansion. 2-1-4-5-3. Clark got hurt. Well, look at that. We changed our lineup and we scored 10 runs. So Clark is now hurt. Shores has still got a stiff back. All right, we got to call somebody back up. Campbell is going to stay in AAA. It looks like Brady Davis is going to get the call. That fastball. Sure, Brady Davis. Middle relief and specialist. And then make him a long reliever / middle relief. All right, so how'd the new lineup look? Carroll went 3 for 5. D'Onofrio 1 for 4. Spence drove in 3 runs. Okay, I mean, it's one game, but it worked. Shores got the win. All right, let's keep going. Convention says that's NS. That's kind of the way I've always looked at it. The Bruins score again. They did. Nice, 4-2. Who got that one? Who is that? I can't tell. Hockey's my number 1 sport, man. It's Charlie Coyle. Nice. Yeah, NS. That's kind of the way I mean, maybe that's because of my age, but contact has always been. I 1 and 2 I flip flop. Contact. I try to put my best eye batting leadoff and my best contact batting second, and then my best overall hitter, then my best power hitter. That's kind of the way I've always set my lineup. All right, let's keep going. Justin Slayton is eligible to come off the DL. That is good. Who's going to go down? Do we just send Brady Davis down? Yeah, I think so. At least until rosters expand. Get Slayton back in there. Get him back into the stopper role. And let's keep going. Stop it with the friggin' injuries. Now Caleb Appleby is hurt. All right, I guess Campbell comes back up. Can we make a run here? If this game had a face, I would punch it in it right now. Brandon Clark will come up. He's not eligible to come off the DL. God damn it. All right. I mean, we're only 7.5 games out, so we're making it. We're at least making it a little close here. Who comes up? I love Cooper Dossett. I love Cooper Dossett's going to get the call. I guess Castillo goes back into the rotation, and Dossett comes in as a middle reliever. You provided the sabermetric optimized lineup. You're trying to see what the reason is. It's usually based on when there's opportunity with men on base, and third has less opportunities than fourth and fifth. That makes sense. I would also assume that if you have your fifth best hitter batting third and your third best hitter batting fourth, then presumably that number 3 hitter, that third place hitter, is going to get better pitches to hit because they'd rather pitch to him than the man behind him. So you're protecting him in the lineup, kind of like, I don't know, Manny Ramirez and David Ortiz. David Ortiz may have been, a better hitter, or may have been I don't know. I think that's kind of the thought process. All right, let's see if we can continue to get a little closer. Nope, we lose 2 games in a row to drop 9 games out. 7.5 out. Clark is eligible to come off the DL. Who is going to go back down to the minors? Cooper Dossett. I'll probably call both of those guys up at the expansion. Bring Brandon Clark back up. Middle relief. And let's go. Yeah, we're teetering around 10 to 12 games out of first place. We just can't get any closer than that. We do get Eknes back, though, which is a thing. We'll put him back in the rotation for Castillo. Make Castillo middle relief. Use more often. Castillo just struggles as a reliever, man. He just struggles as a reliever. 14 starts, a 5.68. He's so much better, or struggles as a starter. It's a good theory. You don't really manage when you do use that structure. A lot of managers hit the pitcher 8th and the best hitter 2nd, so they get more at-bats. Yeah, right, exactly. All right, let's just get to roster expansion. So this year is a bust. It's unfortunate, but this year is a bust. I mean, we could still potentially get to 500. We're 8 games out. We were 16-12 that month, so another 16-12 month puts us at what? Well, we can't play another 28 games, but I mean, 82 wins is not out of the realm of possibility. I mean, that's 20-12 over our next 32. It's unrealistic, but it's not out of the realm of possibility. So we could get to 500. I doubt it, but we could get to 500. Player development. Robinson Ortiz gets a little. My only concern now is that we're never going to be bad enough at this point to land a high draft pick, but we're not going to be good enough to contend. That's my biggest concern as we move forward now. At the end of the day, using a sabermetric lineup versus a conventional line isn't going to turn a 75 win into an 85 win, but it'll take an 89 win team to 90. And that makes sense. If you can figure out a way to get your best hitters the most at bats that'll make the biggest impact, then yeah, that makes sense. Oh man, you know what we didn't do, or what I didn't do because I'm forgetful, is we didn't. Jesus. We got a week to sign my draft picks. I almost forgot to sign our draft picks, guys. I almost forgot to sign our draft picks. That would have been really, really bad. I am out of it. All right, let's see what he wants. He wants significantly over 8, so we'll give him 10. Is that 10 or 100? That's 10. All right. Yeah, worried about getting stuck in the middle of the pack. That's what I'm afraid of. That's what I'm afraid of, is that we're going to be stuck in that 12 to 18 range. And we're not going to be able, and we're truly at that point going to be stuck waiting on random talent development. That's what we'll be stuck waiting on at that point. So, we'll see. We will see. All right, so who's coming up? We can call up 2 players. I think we're gonna call up Dossett because I want to see what he can do. And who else do we want to call up? Does it really matter? Call up Caden Grice because he's got a little bit of pop in his bat. And I don't want him to pitch, though, so let's quickly just do this. He's not a two-way player. And Cooper Dossett will come in as a middle relief / specialist. Yeah, ERAs are coming way down for Hernandez and Heine, and our bullpen's been quite good, frankly. Our starters, Eknes has got 4 wins. 4 wins in 25 starts. It's quite a difference from last season. And he's actually gotten better. His movement and his control have actually gotten better this year. Look at that skyrocket. That's just crazy. Yeah, his movement and his control have actually gotten better this year. All right. Well, here we go. Final month of the season. How close to 500 can we get? Eknes is fragile now, is he? Oh, son of a bitch. Wonderful. All right. So 2 injuries made him fragile. Players retiring. And now every time it pauses, I'm afraid that it's going to say that Eknes is hurt. Let's save it real quick. How many pitches is he throwing? I don't know. Let's look. I've never really set pitch counts for these guys. I mean, in any of my saves, really. And he's throwing 100. I mean, he had a stretch here where he threw a bunch. But for the most part, he's been right around 100 all year. He threw 118 in 6 innings here. This stretch right here obviously was no good. But, he's been right around 100 all year. So, I don't think we're really overworking him. And he's not really young anymore. He's 25. It's not like he's, super duper young. Yeah, that's the problem. Is it Little's fragile now too? So this could all blow up in our face here real soon, but we'll see. Let's get to the end of the month. Appleby is recovering well. Yep. Alright, well, what's the plan now? What is the plan now? That's why I can't call Brady Davis up. He's hurt. Crap, I guess we'll just call Flores back up. Alright, well. Let's give Cooper Dossett a chance to start. Why the hell not? I wouldn't take the abuse points if the season is lost. What do you think? I just bench him? Is that what you're saying? Just bench him for the rest of the year, or just limit his pitch count to 80? Take all of my pitchers and just say you get an 80 pitch count and we're done. Just do something like that and just limit them. Put Eknes on a 95 pitch limit. I don't think my trainer was terrible. I thought he was decent. Yeah, my trainer's actually very good. So it's just out of the park being stupid. Maybe we find someone who can prevent arm injuries better, but my trainer's quite good. We're 9.5 games out, 9 games under 500. Let's keep trucking along. Win-loss. All right, so Appleby is ready to come back. Flores will send down. We'll bring Appleby back up. And we'll leave him in the bullpen, I think. And let the current pitchers that are out there do their thing. This is really like two pitchers with torn UCLs. Justin Slayton keeps getting hurt. Let me guess, he's fragile now too. No, he's normal. No, I don't want to release him. It looks like we may have hit a snag in our rebuild here, folks. We may have hit a snag. I know prevent arm is good, but I'd rather have somebody who's good across the board than only good at one thing. So we win 3 in a row, then lose 3 in a row, win 1, lose 1, win 1, lose 1, win 1. Yeah, we can't string together. We can't. I don't care about Helio Ramos. We can't. He's not on the 40-man. He can go away. I don't care. We're only 5.5 games out of first place, though. I just thought I would point that out. How many games do we have left? He's not eligible to come off the DL. 2 days. How many games do we have left? 3, 6. So basically, we need to win every game, and every team in front of us needs to lose every game. So let's just sim ahead a day at a time until that doesn't happen. All right, we are officially eliminated. Prevent arm being good is bad for arms. No, it's good. It's not outstanding or legendary, but it's good. Bad would be bad, or whatever the version of bad is in this game. Let's just go day by day here down the stretch. So there's another win. So now Slayton's eligible to come off the DL. So our longest winning streak of the year is going to be at the end of the season, because of course it is. $76 and 83. Little gets better. Gomez gets better, but he's out for 12 months. Caden Campbell gets better, but he's out for 12 months. Caden Grice just got a crap ton better. Looks like we have our new first baseman for next year, assuming he doesn't regress. Mike Taylor got better and worse. And it looks like he's still doing okay. He'll be up in AAA next year. I almost don't want to win these games, right? Because all it's doing is hurting our draft position. Breeze might be right on the money. If we can take 2 out of 3 against Kansas City, Breeze will be right on the money. $77 and 80. How many wins in a row is that? 4 wins in a row. There you go. Breeze at 78 wins. Had it right on the nose. If we win one more game, nobody gets it right. Eknes picks up a win in his last start. That's nice. So he ends up 6 and 10 with a 4.23 ERA on the year. Not great, but came back. And the final game of the season. That's what you do. You were under 500, so you moved all your good players with options to AAA. It's not a bad idea. And let's see what happens in the final game of the year. We finished 79 and 83, guys. So all in all, it wasn't a terrible season. It felt terrible because we were so bad. But July, April and July, we were 18 and 33. And I know that's cherry picking, but other than that, we were over 500. 17 and 16, that's 33. 33 and 14 is 47. 61 is 25. 61 and 50 if you take out April and July. 61 and 50 if you take out April and July. So we got to get off to a better start, and we got to avoid this type of thing. But all in all, damn it, that sucks. This is going to hurt. The Bruins scored again. Nice. It's 5-2. I know none of you guys care, but I do. So, all right, let's take a look at some of the other What happened in July? We just lost a crap ton of games. I don't know that anything specific happened. We just yeah, I mean, we lost 4 out of 5 going into the All-Star break. Then we lost what, 7 in a row? 8, 9, 10, 11 out of 13 to finish the month. It was just a shit month. And we won our first 3. That's the worst part. So we were 8-16 and we started 3-0. No, 5-16 in the final 21 games in July. So Josh Eknes, no one had 6. The closest was Random Task with 12. Random Task with 12. He went 6-10 with a 4.23 ERA. I suspect we'll have a bounce back year from him next year. Your run differential. We had to have ended up with a positive run differential. Yeah, plus 12. Plus 12. We finished, our Pythagorean was 82-80, so we should have finished with the same exact record. That 12 is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9th in the American League. Anything we really, really struggled at? Not really. Like, all of this stuff was just sort of average. I mean, we didn't get blown out in one-run games. All right. Yeah, Agnes put up nearly 4 WAR and had 6 wins. Yep. That's why I anticipate next year. I'll keep his pitch count down next year to try to limit that. But I fully anticipate him to kind of bounce back and be, 13, 15 wins, or at least that's the hope. Thank heavens for Jack Leiter. I mean, and he was the opposite. He was 14-6, but had 2 WAR. So I don't know what it is about Eknes that the game loves, but Leiter had himself a good season. Christian Little really struggled as a starter. That's disappointing, and he's now fragile, so hopefully we get lucky with the injuries there. Cooper Dossett came up and did an okay job towards the end of the year. Chase Shores, he got off to a good start and then really tapered off. Yeah, you see his May and his June were quite good. July and September were not great. August was pretty good, but another good young pitching prospect for us. Hernandez had another good season. He bounced back. Yeah, you were off by 1, Breeze. Off by 1. Yep. Nice pick, Random Task, or by Breeze with 78 wins. So Josh Eknes with 12 wins. Who led the team in home runs? I think it was Elijah Green. Yep, Elijah Green led the team in home runs. That was my pick. Yeah, he tied with D'Onofrio. So I think technically, Random Task, you win that one because you had D'Onofrio hitting 38 and I had Green hitting 31. So I think technically you get the win there because you got closer to the number than I did. But the offense is coming along. I mean, it's weird. We're 6th in home runs but 12th in runs scored. So we aren't getting enough people on base. So we need to find that high OBP guy. And I don't know, I mean, the only place it's going to come from is the Rule 5 or hoping that Mike Taylor turns into that guy. But even he's only got a 43i. So I don't know where that's going to come from. I don't know what the answer is to solve our on-base issue. But Joey Spence put up 5 WAR in his first full season. He was awesome. Elijah Green was fantastic. D'Onofrio was very good. I mean, we had some really good performances offensively. All the way down to Sal Stewart. So nice call sticking him in the lineup there, Random Task. I know that's 6th in the AL in home runs. What did I say? Did I say baseball? Yeah, it's 6th. I know it's 6th in the AL. But still, over 200 home runs is not a bad number. Stewart put up 2.2 WAR. DeJesus was not good. Yeah, I mean, Grice is likely our starting first baseman next year. And we'll figure out what to do with Jung at that point. Maybe he just becomes a backup third baseman / first baseman, and we run with Stewart and Caden Grice, because Grice doesn't really have any splits. He can play against both lefties and righties pretty well. So it'd be nice to get that power bat into the lineup, and especially from the left side of the plate, as Green and D'Onofrio are both righties, so you can put Grice in between those two. Money's going to start to be a problem. Jung's contract is going to be an issue. Hernandez and Kiner Falefa, those aren't bad. Hernandez is up in after next season. Kiner Falefa is in your offline sheet. You said your offense was good when you were 14th in batting more in the AL. Well, I guess good relatively speaking compared to where I had been. And I also make mistakes, so it's entirely possible that I made a mistake in my terminology. But yeah, I mean, this is the one contract that could come back to hurt us. But I mean, his ratings, I don't understand this line with those ratings. I feel like he should be a better hitter than this. He doesn't have any splits. I mean, that's significantly above average across the board. So, we'll deal with it again next season, I guess. Anybody? No one's getting expensive next season. I think it's the following year. Where is... Yeah, Eknes is the following year at $5 million. So we get one more year at the minimum with Eknes. So hopefully next year things will start to get better. Yeah, Jung is underperforming for sure. Absolutely. And it's, and it sucks because he's that guy who really could bat in that 2-hole if the ratings were good. But I think next year the lineup looks something like this. I think the lineup looks something like this next year. Carroll, D'Onofrio, Grice, Green, Spence. That's a lot of power and not a ton of OBP. Although Carroll and D'Onofrio get on base at a decent clip. Grice could hit 40 home runs next year as a rookie. And then we'll use the Rule 5 again. Might want to cut some of them to get some money before next year. Yeah. That's actually not a bad idea. Where am I going? I'm going here. I mean, it's my 40-man. I mean, some of these guys, it's mostly, these are all players on my 40-man. For the most part. There are a couple that aren't. Well, no, they're all on the 40-man. But like O'Neal Cruz, we can probably walk away from. We'll try to sell. I mean, we're going to try to sell anybody that we don't want. So we'll try to sell. We'll try to sell people like maybe we'll sell DeJesus. We'll try to sell maybe Evan Carter. Helio Ramos. Yeah, we'll try to do something to free up some money. All right, well, that kind of sucks. Losing Campbell for the year is really disappointing. Hopefully he doesn't come back as fragile. I need him. You'd rather have the depth since you can't sign free agents. I mean, some depth is good, but we don't need, 27 relief pitchers. Jung always disappoints and underperforms in every Rangers playthrough you've done. Well, that's good to know. You should have told me that before I signed him to a 5-year contract. What else did I wanted to look at... let's look at... So... Do we go after someone like Sue Falsone to be our trainer? She's pretty good across the board. She's better against arms, not as good with back or prevent other. Or do we just go legendary and then just, maybe someone like Jonathan Holt. He's bad at rehabbing legs, but looks like he's pretty good at everything else. Or you could just go old faithful Rick Jameson, who's in every out of the park. I think Jameson's the answer. Can we sign him? Does he want to be He does. So we'll sign Rick Jameson to be our trainer. See if that fixes things next season. Yeah, he's somebody you can always depend on in out of the park baseball. Both 21 and 22. He's always there to be available as a scout. So, all right, cool. All right, guys. Well, I think that's gonna do it. This is gonna get me to bed early tonight, which is good because I am exhausted. Yeah, so the next Out of the Park video will be out on Wednesday. No, it won't. I won't be doing another one this week. Because my Wednesdays are now taken up with for GM Games with Draft Day Sports Pro Football. So this is now going to be a 1 day a week video, unless I lose my job or something and I have and I have an abundance of free time, this is going to go to 1 day a week. You were stomping your boots on Eddie Murphy's couch. I don't have any idea what you're talking about. Anyway, yeah, so I will be back with another Out of the Park stream next Sunday at hopefully 7 p.m. I don't presume I'll be this tired next Sunday. Wednesday will be Draft Day Sports Pro Football for Jam Games. And then, got it. And then let's hope that it doesn't get to 2 uploads a week. Yeah, you and me both, man. Everybody needs a job. So, but with Draft Day Sports Pro Football coming out, Chris asked me if I could do a Let's Play for that. And frankly, I wanted to because I love the Wolverine guys. I think they do a great job. So that's going to be it. So we're going to end here about an hour and 15 minutes earlier than we normally do. But we also started an hour earlier than we normally do. So you guys have a great night. I'll talk to you all next week. And have a good week. See ya.